Robin.
And I'm Julie.
We're two mamas who love inspiring healthy living.
After facing family health challenges and seeing how natural solutions transformed our lives, we are determined to help other mamas thrive, not just survive.
What if feeling awesome is possible for you and your family?
Come along with us on our natural journey. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Robin.
And I'm Julie.
Welcome to our podcast.
Helping mamas thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We stopped numbering them.
Yes. Don't know. There's so many.
What's the title today?
I thought you had a better one.
I would just we want to say it.
We're out of time?
Yeah, we're out of time.
Out of time for what, you might be asking?
I know. I'm kind of just seeing like how I'm like not as tall as you.
Right. Yeah.
That's not what we're out of time about. No, in seriousness, Julie and I like to have fun.
Yes.
But we are serious about this topic.
Yeah.
We're upset.
We are very upset. And I mean, I imagine like the intensity growing like so much during this podcast. And then someone is ending up having to restrain the other person because things have gotten totally out of hand. Like that's the degree of like
disgust.
Yes.
Oh,
that
maybe
we
we'll
have
have
right
to do
now.
emotion code on each other.
Oh yeah. Seriously. That might need to happen.
I love when people test for disgust.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That is a good one.
I really like it. All right. So our topic, why are we out of time?
Because I don't know why nobody is talking about this. This is what drives me crazy. Everybody knows someone that is being affected by what is really happening in our country, and no one's talking about it. But everybody is like affected by it, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know."
So what she's talking about is health, the health of the nation,
our health crisis.
We are in a health crisis, and we are out of time. We have to take our heads out of the sand, and I'm sorry to be so blunt today.
Ooh, there's a lot of bluntness going to happen today.
Yeah, because we can't wait anymore. This is tragic. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'll just start with the whole projection of 1 in 2 people with autism by the year 2030. If that projection is true, society is crippled. Do you understand what this means? Like, everybody's like a not me mentality, and they feel badly for me because I have a son with autism. But 1 in 2, that means the one person takes care of the other autism person. Yeah. That's not a functioning society. Right. And what happens to why can't I think of the word when you procreation?
Yeah. What happens to everything? What happens to our economy, to the military, to that, like everything
is the demise. People, please, I beg you, and I promise at the end, we'll say, all you have to do is make a small change.
Right. Yeah.
But that's really the net of this.
Yeah.
So you don't get depressed.
Yeah.
You have to make a change. If you are listening to this podcast, share it with somebody. If you haven't made changes to your diet or what you do, we want you to make a change. That is the call to action. We have no more time.
Right. And no one gets sick or anything in a silo. It affects families, communities. We are all praying for people who are negatively affected by what is going down in our society. Most of the time, it is not through any choices that they have made. They have just been a victim of what is going on in our environment or toxins that they don't know about. Like, I didn't know before I started on this journey. No one ever told me until my son got sick and I started seeking out the information. No one told me, or maybe they did, and it did not sink in, that we are living in a toxic soup. And until we start cleaning up our food that we're eating, until we make better choices on what we actually allow into our home, we are crippled. Like, we can't do anything.
Right. I hear a lot. Oh, it's just Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
how bad can that be?
Everything in moderation.
Yeah. Oh,
this is super not true. Okay.
That kills me.
Chick-fil-A, go on their website. Actually, this is very interesting. Listen to my throat. Ooh, my throat chakra. No, You can't even find all the ingredients online. You have to call the store. Okay. Grilled chicken has a million ingredients. Okay.
Isn't that crazy? Because people think they're making a better choice.
People think they're making a better choice and they're not. That would be for any fast food restaurant, I bet. So look at those ingredients, okay? And they're like, well, it's the best one of all the choices. Okay, that actually might be true. But we need to shift our mindset from convenience to sustainability and health. And I get it. I'm a mom. It would be so much easier for me to go through the drive-through.
And cheaper.
But there are alternatives. You can go to the grocery store. Lots of grocery stores have foods already prepared. They may not be better, like popcorn chicken and things. You could get a package of cheese or organic cheese. Like there are some options. Or like Whole Foods bar when my kids were younger. I was like, well, we could go to the Whole Foods bar. And go to the hot bar. It's still not 100%.
Right.
But it's a heck of a lot better than eating a Chick-fil-A.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is really about a lot of things from different directions because the stats, it'd be different if it was just Robin and Julie saying, clean up your act. But the stats they make you want to cry. They really do. It's like, can that really be true?
So the reason this has been brewing is last month, which we have not posted at all, which is me.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't posted.
Shocking.
I haven't had time.
You've had so much on your plate.
Right.
And I rely on her to be the social media, like communications manager.
Right. So Julie and I went to this amazing talk with Dr. Ben Rawl. He gets fired up.
Oh, he's awesome.
And he starts spewing facts. And it gets really fast. But he has such a big heart and he wants the health for the nation. And he hosted Del Bigtree. And Del presented unbelievable stats, deplorable like facts. And he showed us the United States experts on the stand. And what they had to say. So this is the biggest highlight for me, you can say. The experts of the United States can neither confirm or deny that cupcakes cause autism.
They cannot confirm it or deny it. Like
they can't confirm it or deny it.
Hasn't everyone heard that this has been put to rest? We have already,
it's safe and effective. That's the phrase that's used. Safe and effective. They can't actually prove it. And he showed us he took us through the 6 cases. They unbelievable what happened in the cases, how some of them got dismissed, how one of the doctors who testified got what is it called? Like doesn't get to be a doctor anymore. Like basically any medical professional that stands up to the government or to the medical system gets penalized. Their reputation goes out the window. Their license gets taken away. I mean, there's varying degrees. Some doctors are very careful about it. But this one, the one in the case, Dr. Zimmerman, was that the one? He was friends with one of the fathers of the girl. And that's how that kind of ensued.
Yes. So basically, my takeaway from that is that, and I love when Del does this because he does it at the end. He's like, listen, since they cannot confirm or deny, we've asked them, run the numbers, and they have never come back. So it must be so horrific. The data must be so horrific that they can't cook it. So horrific. And if you think they haven't run the numbers, They have all the data. Like, it wouldn't even take someone like me to run the numbers to get something because they have all the data. And it just absolutely makes me crazy. So anyway, that was my biggest takeaway. It's like, oh yeah, duh. They sure have run the numbers.
But they haven't published numbers. So what does that mean to you?
Yeah.
That means do your research.
Yes.
The things that we were taught are not necessarily so. I posted this week, and I think my Facebook posts are getting shadow banned.
Yes.
I posted a video of two doctors, board certified surgeon, credentials up the yin yang, speaking out about the first cupcake that babies get in the first day of life.
Oh, yes.
And how it's not needed because it's for sexually transmitted diseases and needle use. And the mothers are tested.
Right.
But everybody's given it. Why? Why? And the one of the doctors says because they're banging on the American public not realizing what's happening.
Yeah.
Also, the other doctor's like, it's barely informed consent. Did you know your kids got it? Heck no.
No one gave me anything, you know.
Well, you probably, who knows? Maybe we
did.
signed it.
Maybe we did. I remember signing something.
I don't know.
But
I had no idea.
Know, it's
nobody says to you, this is for sexually transmitted diseases.
Right. Yeah.
And needle use. And you are negative for that test.
Yeah, right.
So we're going to give this to your baby anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So if somebody said that to you, would you say yes? No, you would not say yes.
It's just, it blows my mind. But this is even outside of, okay, so autism, huge. That is like huge. But we have stats. Should we go through? How can we methodically go through
should, but I want to just add to this one very quickly, because a lot of people are they understand some of these stats, but they are very fearful of the disease that could ensue by not giving the cupcake. Okay. So there are some awesome medical professionals that can help you through that. I took an amazing class called The Truth About Cupcakes, and the medical person took us through, well, if you get this, you can do these things naturally. If you get this, you can do these things naturally. A lot of the factoids out there are misnomers about Oh, what's my favorite one? The one about in the 60s, that graph.
Oh, yes. And it was when hand washing was really introduced.
Clean water systems.
And it was, I don't think we can say the actual.
What? Yeah. It begins with a P. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so that's when hand washing was introduced, but they're like, oh, you know.
Well, if you look at the graph, it looks like it was annihilated, but it was not necessarily, it wasn't because of the cupcake. It was because of the cleanliness.
Sanitation.
Something
so simple.
So those graphs, I wish they were more public because those are so interesting.
They're so good.
And people could look at the data themselves.
I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff. It wasn't until I actively researched it. No one is giving this to you in mainstream media.
No.
They're not talking about it. So yes, you do have to dig. Unfortunately, you have to dig. But if you do the research, you can use your own brain to come to a conclusion. We are smart people. We do not need.
And let me just say this. We started with the heavy hitter.
We did.
There are other things that you can, if this is a very scary topic for you, you know, we both would make different choices for our family that we did when we first started. But if this is like, this is too much for me, there are other choices, because we're talking about food. We're talking about lifestyle. The cupcakes is just one component, but if you look at disease, why is America, what did I say? It was like 79th in the world for worst health outcomes.
We have like some of the smartest people here in America.
Well, we spend $4 trillion on healthcare, which is 4 times our military budget. And we're 79th in the worst outcome. Why? Well, there's only a handful of countries that allow direct to consumer
Oh,
pharma ads. And who in your family is seeing the jingles to Ozempic and
mhm.
all the other little tunes?
Yep.
And when you watch TV and they're like, they make it look so fun
Yeah.
that you have insulin resistance and diabetes and
Yeah.
all
Yep.
these other problems.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
let's create a dance and a
Right.
jingle.
Because we're really relying on the drug market basically to save us. So it's interesting because people maybe that have got unemployed or there's been a lapse in the job market. The first thing that they are worried about is health insurance. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like
Oh, that's true.
like it is as if everything with your health is completely out of your control and it is in the hands of other people. And our paradigm has shifted, right? We took the fear, like we don't live in fear. We
Right.
have taken control.
We are in charge of our own bodies.
When did we give
We-
that away?
We are taught that. We are taught that. And we hire medical professionals
Mhm.
to help us.
Yes.
If they
Hire them.
yeah, if I definitely think we all should be respectful of each other.
Yes.
I don't like name
100%.
calling or anything like that. I don't like that. And we do need medical professionals,
Yes.
especially when there are accidents and breathing issues. There's so many
Yes.
emergency things that are necessary.
100%.
But we're talking about day-to-day things. You
Right.
don't have to hand over
Right.
your health. You can take control. I mean, even if you look at me, I fixed my own allergies. Nobody told me how to do that.
Yeah.
I fixed my own polycystic ovary disease.
Yeah.
Like, I have lots of healing still to do, but where I came from, I did that.
Yeah.
And my favorite story is with the kids when they had the dermatitis.
Oh yeah.
Both of my kids had a rash between their shoulder and their elbow.
Yeah.
And I took them to the doctor. And I was like, why do they have this? And the doctor's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's dermatitis. You can just put cream on it.
Mhm.
I'm like, but why? It's kind of strange that both my kids have it in the same, like from the
Right.
shoulder to the elbow.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, just take a cream. I'm like, no, I think it's wheat, yeast, or gluten. I didn't know which
Right.
one, but that was what I suspected.
Yeah.
Because my brother is sensitive to gluten.
Yeah.
And my mom is allergic to yeast. And so I was like, okay, it's one of these three, but it's so hard to take those out of your diet. So
Mhm.
I was like, oh my God. But guess what? I did. Because the doctor just wanted me to put a cream on it. I'm like, no. So I made the kids gluten free because
Mhm.
I went gluten free first.
Yeah.
I made the kids gluten free and their rash improved.
And those are lifelong changes. And now your kids associate, if I put something in that's bad and it shows up, then there's a correlation between the choice I made and the outcome versus what a lot of people do. They're like, I don't know. It just is bad luck. I don't know how this happened.
Well, people are starting to post about being sick for the new school year.
Oh,
Yeah. Like new germs, new times,
oh,
new sicknesses,
right.
new kids.
Yeah. And it has been proven over and over again that your immune system can handle these things if you build it up, if you have a good immune system.
Right.
So, and so many of the diseases over the years,
Yes.
if we had just worked on our immune system, we would not be in this situation.
Absolutely.
We were during the that thing that happened
Mhm.
a few years ago. We were one of the worst countries as far as we had 16% of the deaths. And we were, what was the stat? And we are however much of the population, like versus the population of other places in the world. It was like, what in the world? And it comes back to our ability to fight things off. We are dependent on things outside of us instead of our own innate design that
Well,
we
a
have.
quarter of the women in the US are on medications. 70%, 77% of kids are too disabled to serve our country.
The-
2/3 of
Mhm.
American kids and adults have chronic issues.
Yeah. The obesity thing it just absolutely kills me.
Oh, what did he say? So we watched Bobby Kennedy's
Yeah.
video. He had a lot of
Yeah.
great stats. Some of these are from him. I don't know. I remember him saying 18% have fatty liver.
Yep.
Fatty liver is a lifestyle. Like back in the day, it was
Mhm.
just people who had like cirrhosis. Like
Right.
it was part of if you had like an alcohol
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah.
not fatty liver.
No.
Mhm.
I think it's close to 70%
Of what?
for the diabetes, for the pre-diabetes and the
Oh.
diabetes. And then they're also, Alzheimer's is the new diabetes. And
So the whole insulin resistance, because I do
Right.
get a lot of people when they come to see us to get muscle tested
Yeah.
and we ask for their food diaries.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to say, "Oh, I eat healthy."
Yes.
And we were brought up on like low fat. Like I used to eat like low fat food, like
Right.
grilled chicken, some pasta, a
Right.
vegetable.
Right.
But if you're insulin resistant or like when you have PCOS,
Yeah.
what really helped me the past few years
Mhm.
is shifting what I ate, like
Mhm.
less carbs.
Yeah.
My triglycerides went down. Like in my blood work, you could see it. My
Yeah.
endocrinologist said, "I don't know what you're doing, but keep up the good work."
Right.
I'm like, "You won't believe it. I'm eating more fat."
Yeah. But people, they don't associate that. They're like, no, that's bad. And so, but these things that are breaking down in our system, if they break down to these simple sugars, they are going to be stored as fat if they're not being used.
Right. So if you have PCOS or other weight
Yeah.
related issues, let's say, be open. I guess what I'm trying to say is be open to eating different things. Don't look at the way we were taught.
Right.
Like butter is bad and
Yeah.
eggs. Eggs are like one of the most nutritious foods on the planet. God-given things. Like I don't like to think about what it is, but like
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's nutritious.
Yeah.
And in butter.
Yeah.
Like just take a minute and think, okay, I have a weight issue. You feel like you're healthy. Well, it's time to make a shift in thinking what you eat.
Right. And a lot of it comes down to muscle testing to figure out for your individual body what is working and what is not,
Yeah.
because none of us are made the same.
No.
We eat differently.
Mhm.
We eat according to what our body.
We eat almost opposite.
Yeah. But so much of things shift for me too, and I realize that if I start, I need some good fats. Like there are times when I'm like, oh boy, I need to get those good fats, and you should be having those all the time. But I'm saying there's some more times than others.
I think you're really in tune to your body. I mean, in addition to being
Yeah.
able to muscle test and doing the AO,
Right.
you really listen to your body. And also, you don't have a lot of chronic issues that are disabling some of your choices.
Right.
I
This
think
is
that,
true.
but a lot of things you do for your daily health care,
Yeah.
they're amazing. Like,
Right.
but you listen to
Right.
yourself. So if you're not there yet, if you can't listen to yourself, look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Are you going to Chick-fil-A? Are you?
Are you drinking soda still? Like that seems
Who
so barbaric. It's
I know.
like in the dark ages.
The other
Like
day, Julie called me.
soda?
She's like, people are drinking soda. It's just because we gave it up. We don't mean to seem intolerant.
Right.
Like we're just kind of shocked because we haven't done it in a long time. And so to us, it just feels like passe.
I know. Right?
And then we're out and people are drinking Diet Coke. And I'm like, oh, I thought people stopped drinking that a long time ago. No, it's just me and Julie. But yeah, soda, horrible.
It's just like
Horrible.
giving yourself a sugar
Horrible.
rush. It's
Oh.
bad for your teeth. It's bad for like everything.
No, I saw a really good video the other day
Oh, yeah?
about Diet Coke.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah. About like somebody was breaking down each ingredient of how like in addition to the carcinogenic part,
Right. Right.
the phos for it, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the other chemicals are.
Yeah.
Horrible. So again,
It's,
don't feel overwhelmed. Just
yeah.
this is for you to think, what are the ways I can be healthier? What
Right.
are the ways I can make my family healthier? What are the things I can tell my neighbor, my friend, my colleague
Yeah.
to help their health? It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be everything at once. It just pick one thing. That's what
Yeah.
we always say. If you're a big soda drinker, pick that. You could pick that, but maybe there's something easier. Like if you drink soda every day, maybe you could just stop going to Chick-fil-A. Or if you drink sweet tea every day,
Yeah.
maybe maybe you have 15 a week. Maybe you just reduce it to 14 a week.
Right.
Like we don't
Small
advocate,
goals. Exactly.
we do not advocate, especially sugar, because that
Yeah.
has a big detox effect.
Does.
We do not advocate all to nothing.
Mm-mm.
In
Mm-mm.
fact, like with
It's not
fats,
sustainable.
remember when the lady came to our class, she went from vegan to keto or
Oh,
keto to vegan,
yeah.
and she had a heart attack
Yeah,
because
no,
you
no,
can't do that.
you can't.
That is too big of a change
Yeah.
for the systems in your body.
Right.
Little changes, we're talking little changes that
Right.
have big impact,
That's right.
right?
We want these things to be sustainable.
Yes.
And that's why I think people love working with us, is because when they do food journal, a lot of times they're like, I don't either want to come clean that I ate this or drank this, or it's really not worth even writing down. So I'm just gonna like pass it up because it's just not worth it. So I love that that is foundational in our practice here, that we are working with people on the biggest thing that is plaguing our nation, and that is the food.
Right. And when we make the goals, we do ask our clients, is this something that you can do?
Yeah.
We don't pick a goal that we don't feel like is accomplishable.
Right.
We say, how is this? Can you do
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
And they can say yes or no. If they're like, no, then we don't touch that for a while. There's plenty
Yeah.
to work on.
There's plenty. But the food sources, like we should be intolerant about the options for school lunches. We should be up in arms about what they're making, what we are subsidizing. Like even big ag, like we are subsidizing more tobacco than we are the farms
that's
that should
right.
be. That's ridiculous. Like, why is
ridiculous.
that? That's why we have to get people in there that can actually make these changes, that can run through all the red tape and not be run by all these big farm.
Well,
big
let's go back
whatever.
to the food at
Okay.
lunches for a second,
Oh,
because Ella's private school tried to serve healthy food. It was
Yeah.
called Healthy Tummies. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they had a whole health premise. But guess what? The kids didn't eat it because they're
Right.
so used to
Yeah.
school was only X% of all their
Yeah.
meals.
Right.
So if the kids are not exposed to the vegetables, if the kids are not exposed to healthy foods,
Right.
then
True.
just one lunch a day isn't
It's
going to
not
do
gonna.
it. So
Yeah.
they turn their
You're
nose to
right.
it.
Yeah.
Health, I can't remember the name. It was so sad.
Right.
It upset me so
Oh.
much. And so it is the parents'
Right.
jobs and
Yeah.
responsibility. When those babies are babies,
Yeah.
expose them to avocado and
Right.
vegetables.
Yes.
It's because they get sugar. Enfamil has like 5 sugars.
Oh my God.
Like, and when you look at when you don't quote me on
Choices
that,
for
but it's a
babies.
lot. It means
Yeah.
4 or 5. If you look at the ingredients of formula, sugar, sugar, and
Mhm.
sugar. So
Mhm.
they are starting their palate with sugar.
Yeah.
What is the first food that we give our kids? Rice cereal.
Oh yeah.
What the heck? That's not God-given food. That's crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't looked at the ingredients, so I kind of want to do that now. But
Right.
like, I'm just thinking out loud. Like, that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Why would we do that?
Yeah. When I made Matthew's food, he is like my best eater, but to this day. So that is so true. If you start them early, he had the avocado, the beans, rice. I made all of his baby food by hand, and now he's like, he is my best eater. Like, does he
Healthiest.
Does he
right?
crave the sugar? Yeah. He'll make that choice, but sometimes, but he knows, and it was so odd, back then. But if we can just make those tiny changes, we should be concerned about our kids. Like, do this for because we love our kids and we want the next generation to have a chance, you know?
I mean, and not just that. So like we're talking about the 1 and 2 in the future, but this chronic issue of adults, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Every single person listening to this has a choice.
Yep.
What you put in your mouth.
Yep.
I mean, you know, some people say economically, it's kind of judgy to say you can't eat fast food. Well, I would actually argue, is that food?
Yeah. That's no. Mm-mm.
Like, I think maybe it would be, and I'm not judging somebody, I'm just proposing this, that
Yeah.
maybe it would be good to skip a crappy fast food meal,
Yeah.
save the money from that meal, and buy something healthy at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Everybody's
Right.
situation is different, and I'm not judging
Exactly.
that. I'm just proposing
Yeah.
new ways to think.
That's
Like,
right.
this
Yeah. It is a lot of convenience, though. A lot of people just they don't plan any meals, and so what are they going to do?
it is a lot harder. Even the way I eat now is
Yeah.
even harder.
Yeah.
So, like, the more meat you eat, the
Mhm.
more you have to plan, because you
Yeah.
can't be like, oh, I'm just going to make some spaghetti
Right.
or just order a pizza.
Yeah.
You have to be like, oh my God, I have to defrost meat again.
Right. Right.
It takes
It
planning.
does. It does take planning. But it's once you get into the habit, it's not as overwhelming. I don't think that you would do that. Some people have salad boxes that they cut it. I mean, there's so many ways to save time. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And you can just go on, social media and find all the ways to,
Actually, once you start eating nutrient dense food, you actually eat less
yes,
because it's very
this
filling.
is true. I tell my kids that all the time. Like, the reason that you're hungry is because you just ate something that had like no nutrition in it. So your cells are like, what the heck? Can you send me something I can use?
Right. So if you have your kids eating cereal in the morning, all you're
Yeah.
doing is spiking their sugar level.
Yeah.
You're not giving them any nutrition to think.
That's so scary that we just sugar them up and then we expect so much out of them,
Right.
behavior wise, intelligence wise.
Right. I remember my friend making fun of me that I made eggs for my kids every morning.
Mhm.
Like me making it too hard for them. I mean, for myself.
Oh, right. Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, but cereal is not healthy.
Right.
Like, it's not.
No.
Even if
Mm-mm.
if you buy an organic one, at least it doesn't have
Right.
glyphosate, hopefully, but it's still going to spike your sugar. What nutrition is in it? And processed food, when it's fortified, actually sometimes can be worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Those the B
Yep.
vitamins,
Mhm.
it tricks your body. It's
Yeah.
not like we think, oh, it's got this great fortification. No.
No. These manufacturers have actually taken out the good stuff and then put in this synthetic stuff, and they are now selling off the good stuff to various industries. Like, what? How can that be legal? That's terrible. Makes me so angry.
I know.
What is some other things that we really need people to? We talk about, the whole inflammatory like thing because of sugar. The chronic disease is off the chart.
Okay, let's just talk about toxins.
Okay, let's do.
I don't really have any stats about that, but I mean, glyphosate, I see people when I drive in my neighborhood, I see people every day using Roundup.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, these people are poisoning themselves, especially the people that work for the pesticide companies
Yeah.
who are like breathing it and smelling it and walking in it
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah. I mean, even our pets, like we are seeing cancer. So much cancer is showing up. 1 in 2 of the canines are going to be having cancer.
You have a cancer stat in here somewhere, I think,
Oh yeah,
for humans.
600,000 people die from cancer each year.
But cancer, where somebody said that lifestyle, there's a stat out there about how lifestyle affects cancer. I mean, we know that,
Yeah.
but it's actually published somewhere.
And so much of it is just one drop in the bucket. We don't know when it's going to overflow. And based on your state of when things go in, your immunity or whatever it is going in, that one thing could be the tipping point where the bucket just completely overflows.
Right. And that's why the kids with autism, that's what happens with those regressions.
Right.
But think we encourage people to think a little bigger picture. It's not just autism. Yes, autism, is a problem.
Yeah.
It's all the chronic diseases,
Yeah.
the more allergies, the
Yeah.
diabetes, the autoimmune. These are all caused
Yeah.
by these toxin overloads.
Right.
And people are not necessarily connecting them.
Right.
So that's what we want to do, is start thinking about that. How,
Right.
like, why does my child have a very significant peanut allergy?
Right.
Why is my child acting like this?
Right.
Why? Oh, there's like, we didn't even go into the mental health part.
Oh,
It's really sad, a really sad state. We need to heal these kids' guts.
yes.
My mom's telling me every day about some new shooter or something that happens,
Yeah.
and it's horrible. I'm not saying that's not horrible,
Right.
but I'm saying, when are we going to take a look at what we are doing to these kids and young adults?
Yeah.
They need to work on their physical health, and
Yeah.
that will help their mental health.
Right.
The solution is not popping a pill
Mm-mm.
for depression.
No,
And we don't have
because
that.
it's proven that it hasn't worked. Because if it did, then we wouldn't be in this
True.
situation.
It is side effect of the depression medicine
Right.
is
Yes.
suicide, right?
Right.
Or depression.
Yep.
So you have a mental health
Okay.
stat. Like, how many kids are on medication?
Right. Well, the 18-year-olds, it was what was it? It was, now I can't remember the stat, but it was like 1 in 3 were on some sort of mood altering medication for 18-year-olds.
I mean, I have to say this. Some of this takes work. These kids,
Yeah.
they're either on the pill, depression medicine, or ADHD medication. Why? Okay. Yes, sometimes the school calls us and tells us we need to do it, which is illegal. But we feel pressure, right, to fix it. But that's not the way to fix it.
Right.
It's just putting a band-aid on it. It's
Yeah.
not fixing the root cause of the problem.
Right.
The pill one kills me because
Oh,
if you haven't watched, what's the documentary?
oh yeah, the business
Big Business of
yeah.
Birth
Birth Control.
by Ricky. What's
Ricky
Ricky Lake?
Ricky Lake did that. Yeah, and she did the original one, which was the
Big Business of
birthing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That's fascinating.
It really
But
is.
the teens, because they have heavy periods and cramping, why do they have heavy periods and cramping? Why is their body out of balance? It's not because, oh, my mother and my grandmother and my great grandmother all had heavy periods. I mean, that might be true, but that's not the cause. The cause is a hormonal imbalance. Why do they have a hormonal imbalance? Do they YOLO and use any freaking chemical on their bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen like it's some of the kids, like all the products they use.
I know. Can we talk about tampons?
Yeah, sure.
This is crazy. Well, I guess I wasn't aware that someone started using tampons in my family. And so I was like, I didn't have the conversation about the differences in the organic and like the highly toxic ones. And why would you ever make a choice to have a highly toxic one? And they didn't even know, like, what are you talking about? So even those simple things that are messing up the pH balance and contributing to some of the toxic load, people don't even think about.
I know. So,
Don't think.
food, the makeup, the lotions, that's a great point about the feminine products. People don't think about that. I mean, they're just, you can start from anywhere.
Yeah.
Anything you pick
Yeah.
is going to be good.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of estrogen mimicking things. So we kind of like cut short the toxins, but the Roundup is a proven carcinogen.
Right. Yeah.
But glyphosate is on all of our food.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I can eat gluten in Italy. I can eat wheat in Italy. And I have no problem. Yeah. Because the glyphosate is illegal.
Right.
It's not illegal in the US.
Isn't it crazy that our country is not really concerned? And I didn't know that before. I just if things were on the shelf, then they were safe.
I felt like that too. I remember traveling thinking,
How
I
naive
am
was I?
so lucky that my country cares about what I eat and is safe for
Hey,
me.
it's big business. Nobody cares.
No,
No.
very, very
Do you
true.
have any other like crazy stats
No,
that we need to share?
no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. So what the hope is that
Oh, the infertility.
oh yeah, fertility. There's fertility places all over now.
Imagine if we had places to talk about health as much as
Right.
sickness.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, here where we live, there's like an emergency place every
yeah.
10 miles.
Yeah.
Like, what if we had, here is how you can be healthy?
Right. If we just changed the airspace and the bandwidth and exposed people to all the positive things. I mean, there is so much within our control. And the fact that people just kind of divert to, well, whatever,
Oh, kind of like a victim,
like, oh, well, and not even realize that we have so many tools. It's crazy. I
That's
mean,
true.
just get in contact with either one of us, and we'll give you like probably 50 tools that you could use immediately.
So we didn't really talk about emotions. We did talk about mental health.
Yeah.
We can save for another show.
Yeah.
The spiritual component of
Yeah.
healing, because I do feel like that is overlooked.
Yeah.
So we're talking about cancer and other diseases,
Right.
heart attacks. What emotionally have you worked on?
Right.
And I think that is a big component.
Because as Leslie says, you go out of balance energetically and it manifests physically. So then when you get back into balance energetically, then your physical health will follow. And so I don't think people think about that.
Well, they don't even know what that means.
Oh, okay. Right.
I think.
Okay.
No, but it's important to understand there's a lot of components
Right.
to health.
Yes.
But that's why it's easy to pick something.
Yeah.
Because there's so many ways to improve.
So much. Yeah.
There's so many ways to improve. You can move more. You can not use a toxic sunscreen. You can use a better soap. You can eat better.
Yeah.
But the time is now.
Yeah.
Do not just with your blinders on think, this is okay. Even if you've already made changes.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
We have to help more people.
Right.
The time is now. Our nation is suffering.
Yes. It's not I'll start, in January, or I'll start, at this particular time, or when I'm this age, or when no, you're out of time. Like, it must be now that we make the changes, because these lifelong changes and the sustainable ones, they are baby steps and they take some time. And it drives me crazy. Can I just say this one thing that drives me totally crazy is that nobody thinks to ask why. Like, when did we become a society that no one questions anything?
I don't think it's true. I think some people do.
Okay.
Some people are questioning, like the people that come sit.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Those people aside, but majority that are just like the people who have their head in the sand. Like, don't you want to know why it's happening? Like, I don't know. That kills me.
I think that
the why.
I think that people are just, doing what they were told and not thinking about it. And they respect the people in charge who are telling them to do these things. I mean, you could probably name 10 people right now, very quickly, that go to the office, not our office, a DR office, for some problem, and they've gone 5 times and it's not fixed, and they keep going. Why?
Yes.
They keep going. Why do you keep going? It doesn't make any sense. Like, the problem is not fixed.
Right.
And then sometimes whatever the treatment is makes more problems.
Health. Okay.
Well, so let's wrap it up.
Yep. Let's wrap it up.
So what are
Land the plane. I start to remember what they land the plane. So we talked about some easy things, small steps. Come see us. Just start having a mental shift, a paradigm shift.
or just start researching some things?
Research.
Remember, tell your story about the peanut butter.
Oh yeah. So we went out to dinner and I was nowhere, I didn't know anything about health and wellness, not a single thing. We were on the SAD diet. It was ridiculous. And when we went out to dinner, this is how many years ago? A long time ago. And Robin,
Probably 15 or 16 years ago.
decided to find out what was in her peanut butter. And you still to this day don't exactly know what propelled you to look at that
No.
or research that. But she said, and is so wise, that probably the ingredients to my peanut butter I should be able to pronounce, and they should be very basic. And so I'm going to make that change. And I was like, peanut butter? We ate a lot of peanut butter, and I had no idea what she was talking about. So I had to go home and read the ingredients on my peanut butter, which I promptly read. And I was like, holy, I can't believe.
Because we grew up with like two main brands.
Right,
And
exactly.
the list from those two main brands is like 15 long with words you cannot pronounce.
Yeah. Yep. So crazy. So then that was my first start too, was that I threw away the peanut butter. I went so far as I made my own peanut butter for a long period
Really?
of time, but my kids were like, nope, we're fine. We'll eat the natural. I had to bring them back one step. They're like, it's too chunky. You can't get it smooth enough. And so now we just have two ingredients, peanut, and whatever it is. Yeah. So that could be your first one. That could be
You need to
somebody's
pick.
first one. Yeah.
Empower
Yep.
yourself to pick
Yeah.
a small thing.
Yep.
And empower yourself to talk about it with your family.
Yep.
How important it is.
Yes.
And hopefully we didn't upset you today. We wanted to motivate you,
Yes.
inspire you, because the writing is on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We are out of time.
Mm-hmm.
We have to face it.
Yep.
We have to make these changes.
We have to take accountability.
Accountability is
do.
a great word.
Yep.
Yeah.
So be empowered.
Yes. And let us know if we can help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Share this
Yes.
if you liked it.
Yeah.
And like it.
Yes.
Follow us.
Yep.
Our Facebook page is, I'm allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Wellness with Robin and Julie.
Yeah.
So you can follow us. We are on there every week.
There's also a link in the show notes to all those things. So
Oh, good.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thanks. You guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. And if you want to support our show, give us a 5-star rating.
To learn more about our practice, visit athelivingtree.com.